Hey, the sun is rising, and it's day 2, I suppose, or is this day 3? I suppose day 3 at Hope Festival in Sussex, and it's been fun. ADJ, Daz Nesbitt, who else? Martin. It's been quite a few people, and of course, our friend Bella, who gifted us a bell tent. So it's been awesome. Some dancing, and well, we're talking
Lots of
tomorrow.
chats.
Lots of conversations, and I've got the banners up. I'll show you. And yeah, we're having some great conversations.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more like openness to it, or more people. A number of people have said it kind of doesn't matter, and that's an interesting juncture, because it's like the crossing over where, okay, there's another possibility, but it could be either. I'm not going to fixate on it because it doesn't make a difference.
Or the mind wanting to fight back and say no, giving an excuse why it doesn't matter.
Or no, but also, when all of your friends are saying that's ridiculous, don't be stupid, those people are stupid,
that's the mind,
that's
right.
they've gone too far, blah blah blah. That's it, and if you're kind of seeing some of what they're saying is right, but you do not want to fall foul of the crowd, because you hear what they say, and people have had the opportunity to say a lot about flat Earth in many places in a negative way.
Yeah, well, that's the mind, right, protecting you. It's to make sure you still stay. You stay, you belong, even though it's your new belonging, your new group. You still want to belong in that too. So it's that one divergent topic, right? That can often.
It's a bit too far.
Yeah. But also the people, the globe narrative is slightly changed in that it will allow for some of this electromagnetism and all that kind of thing. So you can still be on a globe and you can still have all these things included in it.
Yeah, like etheric upgrades.
Or astrology. It's like I can still have astrology on a globe. But it's understanding the interconnectedness and that things aren't so far away and they're more personal to you and all of those things, and the possibility that comes with the Earth not being a globe. So
because it's so vital to understanding who we are. Good morning, Tim.
You doing a video?
Yeah, I am actually. Tim was drumming yesterday.
No, ours are normally pretty.
Yeah, we're just
formal. Pretty informal.
yeah.
Free flow.
Yeah, just talking.
Hello.
It's not live.
Not live now, but I'll put it up on my channel.
It's a little blog thingy.
Yeah.
Diary.
Yeah, just kind of keeping people in on what we're doing, and the conversations continue. 'Cause that's what it's about, connecting with people, isn't it? Really?
Sure.
Tim's an awesome drummer, and he was playing on
loving
those
the
yesterday.
drumming.
Yeah, loving the drumming. It really makes a difference. It's so uplifting to the music that's being played as well.
I think what they were playing yesterday, I really felt like I could play with, because on the previous night there were like a lot of I was talking to one of the DJs yesterday about they're playing like a lot of anthems.
Right.
So you have like a big melody, and you have to stop.
Right.
For the synth to do its build up,
Right.
and everyone goes yay, and like yesterday it was just lots and lots of grooves, and there's much more of
a flow to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just grooving.
Yeah.
The focus was more on groove than melody, anthem, and it was kind of, speaking to one of the DJs, it was kind of like you go up and down and up and down and up and down and up. Whereas that, when it's more groove focused, it's more kind of like this sort of, it's just keeping you in that hypnotic trance state. Whereas less the sort of trance place. I don't mean trance genre, but the actual
transcendental kind of
trance. Yeah, exactly. that becomes the focus of how do we stay in that place.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
why I felt so much more comfortable, and this little outdoor area. It's not the big lights. That you can make eye contact. So I think
Well, and
it
it
works
feels
really lovely.
like here you're kind of almost dancing on your own. Here it felt like we were dancing. We were kind of
dancing together.
Weaving
Yeah.
in, we were all,
Yeah.
and I think there's that thing of when you have a big stage and lights, it's that kind of performer audience
Yes.
like
yes.
roles that
Yes.
people go into,
Yeah.
whereas here we're all on the same level and everyone's mingling.
Somehow more intimate.
And
Yeah.
interesting enough,
Yeah.
AD set, which I think is what you're talking
ADJ's
about,
set was
AJ
good like
said
that.
he free flowed. He hadn't
Prepared
No,
that.
no
you know,
planning.
So
just
in a
like-
way, that's kind of better because you're kind of getting that's more organic, isn't it?
You're reading the room.
Yes.
So like, I mean, they would have been reading the room.
Yeah, of course.
But they always do. But I think when you read the room well,
Yes.
then I mean I've heard DJs say that it feels like the room is choosing the next record, because the DJ's not really. I mean, I've done bits and bobs of DJing, so I kind of know what they mean. It's like suddenly something's playing, people are moving, and then you hear a sound, you're like, oh, that's in this track, and then before you know it, that track's now coming on, and you feel guided by.
Because sometimes we've
The
been
group.
in sets where it goes flat. It's been really like and then they put on something and it's like
It doesn't hit.
Yeah, that happened. But yesterday's ADJ set was really cool, and the drumming just enhances it a whole lot.
Yeah, we love the drumming,
Yeah.
don't we?
I
It's
was-
that earth element for us, the drumming bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I felt like, I mean, it's been really interesting, like how people kind of respond. It's fascinating how the difference between congas and drum kit is so different. How people respond. Like I find I'm always kind of fascinated by that, really. Like, yeah, because I've played so much more drum kit than congas, but now I just feel like I want to do this because it's so much older.
Yes.
What you're calling up.
The resonance
That's
and
what I
the
mean by
natural
I
frequency
think
of
we're
it.
kind of, it's like an ancestral rhythm that we're tuning into.
You feel it?
Yes, definitely. I definitely
Yeah.
feel it. And when when that sound comes on, it's like it's like a connection thing for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're right. It's deeper. It's ancient.
Definitely.
It's more.
It's like that remembering.
I think
It's not man-made in the same ways.
Yeah, and you think the way that they talk about how the brain is millions, billions of years old, and now it's just installed in a human, but it was installed in other animals with different bodies. So, like, I remember some, what was it? I can't think of the word now, but it's augmented. It's an augmented reality scientist was talking about. Oh yeah, so if we put you into a simulation where you're, say, crab, and you're in the sea in this augmented reality on these goggle things, and then in that, like, we'll take information from your wrist and use that for the 3 extra arms. Then you reawaken dormant parts of the brain from when the brain was in a crab.
Wow, that's insane.
And I was like, wow. So I think, like, we have these dormant. I wasn't really aware of the idea of dormant things in the brain, but I think when I play on the drums, I think there would have been dormant things being reawakened in a similar way. Yeah.
Instead of the brain, for me, I see it as it's like in our cells. And on a cellular level, we have got information that we brought with us, and that at the moment for a lot of people is being ignited or tapped back into is probably a better way of putting it.
You're talking about DNA?
Well, when we talk about DNA, I don't think of it as a science. I think of it as like an energetic
Frequency.
frequency or imprint that you come born with. Because if you think of astrology, then that's already like
Yeah, and if
you
you
come with that encoded in you.
if you're playing music and then someone else is matching that frequency,
Yeah.
then it it harmonizes and it creates something more beautiful. If it's disharmony,
Yeah.
like they do with 440 hertz
Yeah.
music, then it creates an imbalance and the imprint isn't correct as it was designed to be. So yeah, when you tap into that correct thing, like Dr. Emoto, where he was putting good intention into water and freezing it into perfect crystals, and imperfect if he was nasty.
So you're talking about form with that. So intention, and it's the relationship between intention and form. So there's in Rupert Sheldrake. I keep meaning to look more into his stuff, but he talks about form, inform, and then things coming into formation. So information. So if this is like whoa, it's gone right down.
Really?
It was like
Yeah, it seemed deeper when I touched it earlier. I was like,
yeah, super boomy. But basically, so the oscillation.
Hi, how you doing, Jake?
This membrane.
Jake and Victorious.
Up and down.
Yeah.
At a certain rate per second.
Yes.
So frequency, how frequently is it oscillating up and down? And so it's going up and down.
Yeah.
And then that's moving airwaves.
Yeah.
And then these airwaves are going out in up, down, 360.
Yes.
Interacting with our ears, coming into the ears, and then bone moves. And then the experience of a sound is then created by the neurons in our brain. Like sound doesn't actually exist outside of the brain. But there will be like these movements of air. So if you think of like there's space, and within a space there's time, and then space and time structures are being created by that hitting the body in all different
Cool. Have you ever
restructuring to the inform?
Yeah. It's like a decoder. Your senses are a decoder, like your smart box on your TV. It's a decoder for light, and the light's coming in and turning it into an image.
Sure.
And your sensations are doing the same thing. But I was going to ask you, you may feel this drumming.
Yeah.
But if you've been around an explosion, like near an explosion, a grenade or something like that, you feel like the force of it before you feel any shrapnel or whatever. You actually feel the percussion of it, or the concussion of it. And so how I see the air is that it's a medium. Just like a fish doesn't know what water is.
Sure.
We don't really know what the air is, but I call it ether, like Nikola Tesla did.
Okay, this is great.
And so when there's a frequency emitted, a pulse emitted in the case of hitting the vellum, that creates an implosion of energy, and that sends a perturbation. Yeah, like a disturbance, a ripple in the water. Imagine a ripple, like I throw a pebble on the lake. That ripple goes out, obviously, as you said, in 360 degrees, because it's got no resistance. If there was a wall here, then obviously it's going to bounce right off that wall, and then go back in that direction. Yeah, that's going to happen, just like it would with the water on the lake. If it's near the edge, it's going to bounce off that wall or whatever. That perturbation of the medium is actually transmitted instantly, almost instantly, which is why I'm hearing the sound, even if I'm over there. I know obviously there is a slight delay with sound, less so or none with light.
Different.
Yeah, that perturbation is just like when you switch on the light switch. That's an instantaneous perturbation into that space of a constant frequency, which we see as light, or we hear as sound, in the case of sound. So it's a perturbation of the medium, and then yes, everything in your body, your auditory system and so on, is merely like the decoder, like we have for the smartphone, for the TV.
So decoder, but also is affected by the phenomena itself. So we're decoding it, and but the process of decoding is happening, and also so I remember a DJ talking about how he was playing in a warehouse, or just in the warehouse, and then he looked at the puddle, and the puddle had all these beautiful cymatic
patterns
happening because of the
Right.
perturbation of the signals
Yeah.
in the space. So we are predominantly water
Yes.
Yes.
also,
Yes.
so we are being restructured,
Correct.
just like that puddle is
And
being
that's why
restructured.
things like I would imagine EMFs, right?
Yeah.
Are giving us
A perturbation,
perturbation
which is
is incongruent
440 hertz, for
with
example.
our true
Natural.
nature, which is why it's so harmful. Or our body can process it, but too much of it is putting us in a state of disharmony,
Sure.
which is why it causes disease or whatever.
Which shows up in the auric field first,
Yes.
before it manifests in the physical.
Yes.
Because of this, so again, back to five sense reality, eyes tell us that the boundary of the body is here, and also sort of mainstream perspectives are fixated on five sense reality. However, in this discussion, we're kind of exploring, what is the actual human being, and there's different things with it. I keep needing to revisit this stuff, but there's like the physical body,
Yes.
the emotional body, the
Yes.
mental body, the etheric body,
Yes.
like the life
Yeah.
force. Then there's the spirit body, and then there's these other bodies
Yes.
that are non-physical but are just as real. It's just that kind of multi-dimensional nature that we are, and normal everyday sort of mainstream worldview encourage us down five sense reality, and then that's where we can be molded.
Yeah.
But whether we know just say when we're dancing, we sense that we're more than
Yes.
just that, and then
Because I think our true mind is a body body mind. This is just a
computer
computer. Yeah, it does
Yes,
it does
it's
the
the processor.
It's mechanical. It's
calculations.
it will take from this. We'll send an instruction to breathe, to do a task, to remember something, that's in the memory bank.
Yeah.
So the mind is just doing that part for us. Whereas I think our listening, and this is coming to my word, the listening is here. It's like it's a listening from here. So when we hear sounds like that, we're listening to it here, which is why people will feel that emotion
Body,
or
mind.
whatever. This can remember that song. Go, oh, that was a happy. That's a happy sound, or can do those things. But the actual
feeling of the music,
the
feeling
connection, or is I think going through this.
That's right. When I'm dancing, like when I'm in gay abandon, as they might call it, I'm with the music. My head's not thinking.
Yeah.
My body is feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm moving
feeling
in
both.
flow with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
And so what you're saying about the intention and the vibration that I emit, well, we all probably on the same conversation or same mind about EMFs being perhaps designed with a frequency same as 440 hertz, with a frequency an intention to use frequency as a way to misshape to
just take you
slightly off
your,
rather
your
than
connection to you, because if you're slightly off, I think this slightly off then puts us in our minds, and we're actually living from our minds, because this is all slightly off.
Yeah.
And so of course we know that our minds in this system is the thing that they can kind of steer. They can't if you're really truly connected to this, it's going to tell you a whole lot of other things, but then you've got this to contend with. It's trying to steer
I want to make a parallel on this.
Yeah.
So to bring it back to rhythm, and things being slightly off.
Yes.
So there's a situation that is always happening with the drumming, which is like, so say if a DJ's playing and then I start playing along, and then or that's one kind of dynamic, and I think in that kind of dynamic, what we're having computer generated rhythms with which are highly precise,
Yes.
coming out of some speakers
Yes.
at 440 hertz.
Yeah.
That's what we've got.
Yeah.
And then what I'm doing is I'm using my own human rhythm to
Yes.
align myself with that machine-based precision.
Yes.
And I think it's really interesting how it sort of, when I do manage to align with it, it kind of unlocks something
Yes.
that we spoke earlier about something dormant being reawakened.
Yes.
And I find that, like, so sometimes I'll be playing in that situation and then somebody will want to join in, and it's like, yeah, fine, join in. And then there can be a situation where there's that slightly off thing happening. And another way of thinking about this, I think, which is helpful, is earth and sky.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that duality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so earth and then sky.
Yeah.
Remember the little boy?
Yes.
We were doing
Yes.
this with him,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was just loving it.
Yes.
It just up, down,
Yes.
up, down.
Well, actually, that's where the
Only one up
Baphomet,
and
the
down.
Baphomet comes in, right? And everybody thinks
Okay.
the Baphomet is this evil thing, but is it really? Is the Baphomet not telling us something when it's doing this? And we've just,
As above, so below.
as above, so below. There's that.
Oh, well, okay. With as above, so below, or as within, so without.
Yes.
It's just, to me, that just means everything's a mirror. The world is as we are.
Yes.
It's
Yes, exactly.
It's as we are.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
You know,
That-
not this
that's-
sort of like, that's kind of externalizing.
Yes.
Oh, an entity has
Yeah.
whatever, and yeah, okay, yes, there is that going on, but it's not really. I don't really think it's worth too much attention, because I just think we'll take the power back.
Mm.
You know
Yes,
what?
but you have
know,
that knowing. But most people are living in the world thinking the world is out there. They haven't not reconnected to the actually.
Five sense reality.
Yes. Yes.
The materialist
majority of people,
Materialism.
mind,
yeah,
yes.
Majority of
Yeah.
people are living. The world is out there, and if we change the world out there, then and we're seeing that by the bucket loads at the moment, aren't we? All the wars and all the news. It's all like, oh, we'll make these changes there, and then the world will be better. But it isn't.
I just see it like, if I'm trying to reach for an object, and it's just like, the world is out here. In my mind, it just seems like
Yes.
like
Yes.
this,
Yes.
and literally because quantum, like, atomic physicists, quantum physicists will talk about, well, okay, let's talk about the nature of the atom. The nature of the atom is you've got a nucleus and electrons. That's one model which even some people disagree with.
Myself included.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The spinning ball. Blah blah blah. But like.
And all that space in between. You see, the perturbation of a medium is not possible when there's space between it. I can't push something. I have to go to something, and things need to be in the perturbation of a medium. In the water, when the ripple passes through the pond,
Yeah.
the one molecule or bit of water is absolutely connected to its neighbor. There's no space between them. So in the vacuum of space model, there is 99% dark matter, which is sort of this void between the electron and the proton and the neutron. Anyway.
Ether. Well.
Yeah, ether. So that's why they got rid of ether, didn't they? Because Tesla was an ether man.
Yeah.
And Einstein wasn't, because
Right.
general theory of relativity cannot have ether. It cannot have this super high. It cannot high. It cannot have this super medium in which everything exists. It cannot have the water, if you like. It needs simply to have CO2, and there not be a background within which the CO2 sits. And H2O, it needs just to be H2O and not have a background in which H2O exists. But we cannot take H and 2O, or 2H and an O, and create water. We can't put two hydrogen and an oxygen atom or molecule together
It's
and
not
create
three
water.
parts.
No,
Water
there's
is not three things.
no, there's
Not
more
three
to it.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's this medium, this soup, that has confounded modern scientists, because when they read they put an interferometer down and they find that there is a movement of like a tide, if you like, not a tide, like a current, that we sit inside something that has a current, and it's moving at 15 degrees an hour at the same speed as the sun and the sky seems to be moving, and it's like the whole body of everything, but it's not detectable by us in the same way perhaps as the sea isn't detectable by a fish. So that's the thing on the atom. But you were going to take me somewhere anyway before I.
Because I said about the atom model, and then you said
yeah.
I have to put in my model.
Just to say.
Which is basically instead of the spinning ball atom, you're talking about a medium. It's just a.
Yeah, a medium, a soup. And that soup is just it's a super medium that isn't creating wind. It's moving at this 15 degrees an hour, but there could be absolutely no wind at all on the day. It's got nothing to do with the things that we as material beings feel. Wind blowing on us, heat, gases moving around or whatever. We don't feel those. We only feel them when they're in motion, when they've been disturbed. But the background itself is, yes, this sort of this ether, and that's the medium that we perturbate. Even though I'm not creating a wind, the sound. I know obviously you could say, well, there's a tiny little wind happening at the velum, but the transmission of the sound through the medium is not a wind. It's merely a perturbation of the medium that we're in. It's not creating wind. You're not feeling my breath from this distance. You're only hearing and picking up the perturbation that's instantly available to everyone within the range of the sound that I'm making now. As I increase the range, then the range of that. Same with the illumination. If I've got a tiny battery on my lamp, and then I increase the size of the battery or whatever to then people will see it from further away. And then I lift it up higher, people will see it even further because it's now at a. Anyway, off in the weeds. You wanted to say something.
Well, that was. I brought up atomic physicists because. What's your?
Andrea
was saying about the world being out here.
Yeah.
And people, materialists will have that kind of relationship with their reality that.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
How
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good. Thanks. Good. Yeah. How you doing?
You are
Good.
sovereign. You are sovereign.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about atomic physicists, actually.
Oh,
Interesting.
Okay.
Good.
Subject in the morning.
Coffee.
Ah,
Is there coffee?
don't think they're open yet.
Oh, isn't it?
No, sorry. I don't know what the
They're
timetable
tired
is for that.
tonight. Well, they should be open. We're supposed to be here at 8 to help out. Some especially got
Go
up
back to the
early.
fire.
Might be open from the other side. We're going to check.
All right.
There is also.
Just back to this idea of the world being out there and it's not out there. It's as we are. Like we're constantly interacting with this.
Yes.
Well, we have a relationship with this world. It's not like. I always sort of captivated by the idea of. If it's this wave particle duality and then the observer collapses it, like. Then the intention changes. It is telling it how to be. Is basically what that's saying. So like and then the shared reality says that this is all a conga, and it's just like we have to agree on something, otherwise we can't kind of.
But we can also show how you can bring your congas into a space, and in time of 5 minutes, transform those people in that space to like all up on their feet, dancing. The whole energy of the room has changed. You can film it and observe it, and you've observed it obviously, where it transforms that energy. And so it's a really good way of showing how in a physical way, we can demonstrate how our energy can be used well or harmfully. So, but when we when we focus only on our material body, then we think only in terms of, oh, well, what are the words that are coming out of my mouth or the expression on my face? But when we think about the etheric body and the spirit bodies and the kind of non-physical elements of ourselves, then what is that energy transmitting? Like, you're so good with children, because your energy that they can sense, because children are very good at sensing that, they can sense a good energy, and so they're like, drawn to that, and they'll respond well to you. And I think that when our inner world is like in turmoil, even though on the outside we might be presenting well enough, the energetic body, when I interact with you, is, this, sometimes it's going to be warmer and more comfortable. Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
Hey.
Some days it's going to be like, or some people it's going to be, or sometimes it's going to be less warm to be around. You might
just conflicted on some level. Like there's some internal conflict.
And so we're not necessarily nurturing. We're maybe good at nurturing people, going down to the gym and nurturing the physical avatar, but we're not well trained in attending to the spiritual self.
Yeah, I mean, this is like changing subjects actually, but I don't know if there's a huge conversation there, but I just sort of think like I think it seems quite common today with men's relationship with the gym, that there is this sort of get strong, be healthy kind of attitude, predominant everywhere on social media and these things, like kind of like someone like a celebrity face like Andrew Tate. There's that whole culture about men's health going on, which is probably a reaction to extreme feminism, but anyway, I just kind of think it's interesting because I just have a feeling that there are people that are like looking into steroids as well, and then women are looking into face aesthetics as well, and
cutting and pasting their bodies.
And I mean men going to the gym and then steroids, and like it's a strange phenomena, which seems to be there's kind of this relationship between like looking after the physical but not really
but I would
else.
say,
I suppose that's what this drumming is trying to kind of work on, that level of like we're looking after this other part of us, which is when I do something like movements like this, like the infinity sign, like there's something about that kind of, so if we do like things like this, or like swirls, things like this, and then like this kind of, there's boundaries,
almost Tai Chi like.
Well, this is what I think I should be doing. Like I haven't looked into Tai Chi, but I think like this kind of movement.
These are important, because our body is a series of pumps. It actually needs your help. Your heart isn't doing all of the work. There's other things moving, and yes, your knees and your joints. I think that's why when the Muslims do their 5 times a day prayers, part of what's hidden inside of that is that it's just a series of stretches that are really good for you. When they go, you bend your knees like that, you arch your spine all the way down to touch the ground with your forehead, and stretch your arms out forward. It's yoga. It's really just that. Even when I went to church as a youngster, they get us to bend down and get on our knees, 5 times during the service and pray and stuff like. So they're actually hiding exercise, important movements.
Physical ritual.
So I think it's I commend that men are seeking ways of staying fit. But yes, you can always go off in the kind of steroid and over fascination by the exterior, just like ladies sometimes have done with the makeup and hair. And that can be a distraction, a temptation, and a distraction away from the divine intention. And also this kind of, the Andrew Tate kind of way of being with women. Now, I remember when you were talking about this, I remember that experiment they did with a rat house, I think in the 1970s, I can't remember, where they built a rat house in a university for 3,000 rats, and they started with 200 rats, and the rats for the first 3 or 4 generations were doing well and healthy and so on. But as the population got towards 1,500, 2,000 in there, behaviors started to alter, and they saw all sorts of weird kind of behaviors occurring inside of the rat colony. Now, so what we're seeing, because man and women are taken so far from their natural habitat, their natural environs, and they're now in these smart cities all locked behind, these glass windows and gyms downstairs, and there's nowhere for them to go and do any physical work.
Oh, and in the gyms they're pumping out this music at 4:40
under fluorescent lighting. Drinking the tap water or Evian, which is naive, spelled backwards. So so this is a natural expression or outcome of a group, a species, if you like, that are
the rats.
The rats, but humans are in a way going to respond maybe not as bad or maybe worse, because we're not meant to be caged, we're not meant to be in small boxes, and we're not meant to be under fluorescent lights punching keyboards. We're meant to be chopping wood and carrying water and growing things and making things and building things and producing things and drumming and dancing and communing. These are the things that we should be doing with space around us, not living in these shoebox things that actually. If I said, what is fair for a cow, someone would go, well, this amount of field would be great for them. And I say, well, what's fair for a human? Well, this shoebox here would be great. No, with 20 or 10 other shoeboxes stacked atop them, and all of them, in close confines. And nowadays, everybody with their 5G or whatever phones and routers in their houses and so on, people are living in an electromagnetic smog. And then, we're wondering why they're acting in the ways that going in the direction.
ADHD is going like this.
Yeah, all of these sorts of things, we're getting into how this whole thing is perhaps created by accident or design to steer us well away from our divine path and our true
nature.
True warrior nature. Our true essence is higher, the expression of a higher self. So, but music is a great food. Music, what goes in the ears and the eyes and so on. We need to be mindful that these things are either toxic or healing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave it there for now, Tim. It has been a good conversation. I've got it all on video. So.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank you. But we'll look forward to more drumming from you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you upload this?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll put it on my channel. You can check it out on Trinity 4.
Okay.
All right.